Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, I'm a whiskey nerd, and this week I'm making a salted caramel chocolate espresso martini. This video is actually part of a challenge, the Christmas Martini 2021 challenge, organised by Dave from Booze on the Rocks, Rob from Rob's Home Bar, and Vino from 60 Second Cocktails. This is a great little initiative, encourage different YouTube bartenders to kind of come up with a different cocktail, a spin on a holiday classic. The only rules are it has to be served in a martini glass and it has to be festive. Now for me, when I think the festive season, I think of being really full after a really nice meal, so I thought what better way than to lean into this challenge by making essentially dessert in a glass. I'm using a stout finished Irish whiskey for some really nice chocolatey notes, some Tia Maria, which is going to have some vanilla, again some nice chocolatey notes. I'm going to use caramel sugar syrup, Aztec chocolate bitters, and just a little bit of sea salt. Now I'm using good quality sea salt flakes, but if you want, you could make up a saline solution of 1 part salt to 5 parts water if you want to kind of control the amount of salt you're adding in, or if you want to make a bunch of cocktails over a long period of time, the saline solution is the way to go, but for me, I'm just going to use the sea salt flakes. So enough talking, let's get to making. This is a shake and drink, so we're going to get a shaker tin, I'm going to get a nice rock of ice, I'm going to pop that in there. We're going to add to that 1 ounce of fresh espresso. It is kind of important to use fresh espresso if you want to get a good head on your cocktail, so use 1 ounce of fresh espresso. We're going to follow that with 1 ounce of Tia Maria. This is a nice coffee-based liqueur. It's got really nice hints of vanilla and kind of coffee notes that come through it, and I think it works better than like a Kahlua, which to me is a bit oversweet. So I'm going to go in with 1 ounce of that, and we're going to follow that with 1.5 ounces of our stout finished whiskey. Now there are a couple of different options for stout finished whiskey out there. Most people should be able to get access to the Jameson stout finished whiskey, so if you can get that, use that. I'm using the Dubliner stout finished whiskey series. This is a combination they've done with a couple of different small Irish beer breweries, so I like to support local, so I'm supporting local. Next, we're going to add in just 1/2 ounce of our caramel sugar syrup. This is classic, just Monin coffee syrup. You can get it in most stores. Just going to go in with 1/2 ounce of that, and I'm going to follow that with 2 dashes of Aztec chocolate bitters. This will really highlight some of like the dark chocolate notes you're going to get from the whiskey and from the Tia Maria. It's going to make it really into like a mocha. So 2 dashes of that. And then to round it off, to really drive home that salted caramel vibe, just 1 little pinch of sea salt flakes. Don't go too heavy because you don't really want the drink to be too salty, just a little bit in there, because a little bit of salt will actually help to highlight some of the sweetness and some of the other flavors you're going to get in the drink. So let's shake this cocktail. I'm going to pop the lid on and shake it down for about 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, that's nicely chilled now, so we're going to pop the lid off. I'm going to strain it out into our martini glass. Remember, it's not a Christmas martini unless it's in a martini glass. So we're going to pop our strainer up top. I'm going to strain it out. Oh, look at that. Creamy, velvety, just what you need. Perfect. Now while this settles, if you're not subscribed yet, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put out a new whiskey review every Wednesday and a new cocktail recipe every Friday, so subscribe and you'll see them all. Now this is nicely settled, it looks great, but the most important part is how does it taste? That's really nice. That is really nice. It definitely captures that idea of kind of a salted caramel mocha. This is, for me, a perfect after dinner drink. This is exactly what you need if you're full, if you can't eat anymore, but you still want a dessert. If you've got a bit of a sweet tooth and you want something sweet to kind of tide you over after a meal, this is exactly what you need. It's got a bit of coffee, so it'll wake you up. It's got a bit of booze, so it'll keep you happy, and it's got a lot of sweetness in there that are really going to keep you happy. The salt in there, it's kind of not really noticeable, like there's a lot of flavors in there. It kind of serves more to highlight the sweetness. It's not really a salty salted caramel drink. It's actually more present in the foam than it is in the drink, probably because you're going to get that little bit of aeration. You're going to have the flavors a bit more noticeable, whereas when you get into the drink, you got that dense sugar syrup, you got the dense whiskey, you got the sweetness from the Tia Maria, all competing against each other. So the salt there is more of a background note, so it just kind of highlights all the flavors. And that might be where I leave this video. I mean, it's a great little cocktail, it's a great little drink, it's really easy to enjoy, easy to make. I hope you have a happy Christmas, and I'll see you next time. Sláinte.